Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones here, and I'm the publisher of Black Westchester magazine. And welcome to the Publisher's Desk, where we have special reports on issues local, national, and international. I do an in-depth report on it from the Publisher's Desk. And today we're going to talk about the recent killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. And what does that mean for our political landscape here in America, because we have invested billions of dollars into Israel, and there have been protests all over the world for a ceasefire because so many civilian lives have been killed in this war. We just want to know, which way are we going to pivot in this war? Is there going to be more killings, or killing the mastermind of October 7th? Will that change the direction of the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, in actually seeking a resolution to a ceasefire and to exchange hostages and to work on a two-state solution and to work on rebuilding what he has destroyed within a year after October 7th? So we wanted to look into that and talk about that, because the recent killing of Yahya Sinwar, a key Hamas leader, by Israeli forces marks a significant moment in the ongoing Gaza conflict. Sinwar was a mastermind behind Hamas military operations. He played a crucial role in the October 7th attack that killed 1,200 Israelis and led to numerous hostage captures. But does his death truly alter the course of this war? Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hailed Sinwar's demise as the beginning of the end for Hamas in Gaza. Some Israeli officials hope that this event might facilitate hostage negotiations, though Hamas has responded with threats and further retaliation. However, the international perspective of this conflict extends beyond military victories. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, has ordered Israel to prevent actions that could contribute to genocide in Gaza, highlighting the severe humanitarian crisis. The death toll among Palestinians have surpassed 42,000, when 70% of those 42,000 have been women and children. The staggering civilian casualty count has shifted global opinion. Many now question whether military achievements like eliminating the Hamas leader can justify the widespread devastation in Gaza. The international bodies, including the ICJ, Amnesty International, have raised concerns about potential war crimes and genocide. Adding to the complexity, former U.S. Ambassador John Bolton's controversial suggestion to permanently relocate Gaza's population has faced widespread criticism. Such a move would ignore Palestinians' deep historical ties to their land and likely worsen the crisis. While Sinwar's death is a military milestone for Israel, it does little to address the fundamental issues at play. The conflict continues on a military, legal, and moral fronts. International concern about Gaza remains paramount. Netanyahu faces critical decision-making between pursuing further military action or pivoting toward dialogue and humanitarian relief. The path of de-escalation could involve prioritizing hostage negotiation, addressing the desire of humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and exploring diplomatic solution, and initiating reconstruction efforts. Such a course could prevent further loss of civilian life, improve Israel's international standing, and create an opening for long-term regional stability. However, the influence of the United States, particularly President Biden, adds another layer of complexity to this situation. As Israel's strongest ally, the U.S. holds significant sway over Netanyahu's decisions. President Biden has the power to rein in Netanyahu's military ambitions. But the question is allowing Netanyahu to continue the conflict part of the broader American foreign policy strategy? Some analysts suggest that the U.S. may be using Israel as a proxy to maintain control and influence in the Middle East. By supporting Israel's actions, even indirectly, the U.S. can project power in the region without direct military involvement. Such a strategy, if true, would prioritize geopolitical interests over immediate humanitarian concerns and long prospects. See, Joe Biden can tell us, the American people, that he's fighting for humanitarian efforts, but his actions, not putting a halt to weapons and finance going to Israel, speaks differently. France has already said that they're withdrawing all military aid to Israel until there's a ceasefire. But the United States talks that stuff because it's election time, but they still send billions and billions of dollars to Israel of U.S. payer tax money. But yet we're suffering over here in the United States. This raises a profound question about the true objective of America in that region. Is it about global stability and peace? Or is it about maintaining a balance of power, favor to U.S. interests? The international community watches closely, hoping for a shift toward peace, but very wary of the complex geopolitical calculations at play here by the United States and Israel. Critics argue that this approach, if indeed the U.S. strategy, is short-sighted and morally questionable. It risks further destabilizing the region, exacerbating humanitarian crisis, and potentially breeding more anti-American sentiment among affected populations. In May, the International Criminal Court, the ICC, sought arrest warrants for Hamas leader in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes against humanity related to the October 7th attacks on Israel and the subsequent conflict in Gaza. The ICC prosecutor Karim Khan revealed this information in an exclusive interview with CNN's Christian Amanpour. But now that the Hamas leader is dead, it only leaves Netanyahu. The charges against Netanyahu involve causing extermination, causing starvation as a method of war, including the denial of humanitarian relief supplies, and deliberately targeting civilians in conflict. That's what Khan told Amanpour. In response to the reports of the potential ICC action, Netanyahu described any such warrants as an outrage of historic proportions, emphasizing Israel's independent legal system that investigates all legal violations rigorously. Khan replied, "Nobody is above the law," and suggested that Israel challenge the ICC's jurisdiction before court judges. Although Israel and United States are not ICC members, the court claims jurisdiction over Gaza, East Jerusalem, and the West Bank following the Palestinian leaders' 2015 agreement to adhere to the ICC principles. And guess who went to bat for Netanyahu against the International Court? Joe Biden. So he went on record in defending Netanyahu for what the world sees as genocide and war crimes. This announcement is separate from the ongoing case of the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, regarding South Africa's accusation of genocide against Israel following the October 7th attacks. While the ICJ deals with the disputes between nations, the ICC prosecutes individuals of war crimes and crimes against humanity. As the situation unfolds, brothers and sisters, the world waits to see whether if Netanyahu will heed the call for peace and whether President Biden and now presidential candidate Kamala Harris will use American influence to encourage de-escalation. The choices made in this critical moment will not only shape the immediate future of Gaza and Israel, but also reveal much about the priorities and methods of U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. The path forward remains uncertain, but what is clear is that the decisions made now will have far-reaching consequences for that regional stability in the Middle East, humanitarian concerns, and a delicate balance of power in that volatile part of the world. So once again, you could read the article on Black Westchester magazine, and this is from the publisher's desk with your publisher, Damon K. Jones, and thank you for listening, and please like, share. This is about spreading information, real information that we need to talk about in the Black community. So thank you again. Have a Black-tastic day and be blessed. Peace. Black Westchester Magazine's People Before Politics show every Sunday at 6 p.m. It's the news with the Black point of view.